Thank you for joining our webinar on facilitating compliance, productivity, and collaboration in food and beverage. My name is Jason Savage, and I'm the marketing manager here at Datamite. We've got some great information to cover on the challenges food and beverage industry manufacturers face today and ways that companies are overcoming them. Okay, let's get started. We are Datamite, an industry recognized expert in the connected factory with over 50 years of innovative solutions for both production and quality. We've serviced some of the world's most prominent brands and gained some invaluable experience that we would like to share with you today. We have several global locations and an extensive network of distributors. Our high level of customer service enables us to create client relationships that span for decades. Settle in and we'll share some of what we've learned. And let us know at any point if you would like more information on a topic that we cover today. Joining me in this presentation are Jeff Morris, a national account manager, and John Ryan, one of our regional sales managers here at Datamite. Please note that you are muted during this presentation, but we absolutely want to hear from you. We will also circulate a replay of this webinar after it finishes, so don't worry about missing anything. You'll receive a link in your inbox so you can view it at your convenience. We're glad that you're here. Later in the webinar, you'll have the opportunity to respond to a few polls, and you could submit questions at any time through the webinar side panel. Our experts are monitoring the chat and ready to respond. We will try to take as many questions as possible, but if we're not able to answer your question, a solutions expert will reach out to you within 24 hours. On the screen, you'll see our agenda slide with a brief outline of our journey through these topics. No matter where you are in your journey of data collection, you will find this webinar helpful to get you to the next step. I see that there are some attendees from industries outside of food and beverage here with us today, and that's great. Datamite has partnered with major manufacturers across many industries throughout our history. While some of the presentation being presented today is specific to food and beverage, the solutions presented can be applied across many industries. We would be happy to meet with you and talk more about how we are solving production and quality challenges in your specific industry. I think that we can all agree that in today's world, technology plays a huge role, and it promises to play an even bigger role in years to come. We're going to look at some of the most daunting industry challenges and focus on Datamite solutions for improving compliance, efficiency, and reducing risk, including SPC, data collection, escalation management, and digital clipboard. Later in the presentation, Gina Fritz will use an actual inspection checklist to illustrate how easy it is to create a workflow in digital clipboard. The food and beverage industry has traditionally been one of the most highly regulated industries in the world. Not only is it the most stringently regulated, compliance requirements are also constantly changing. Food and beverage manufacturers are responsible for the qualities of their goods received from their suppliers to a degree at which no other industry is required. And traceability as it relates to supply chain and operations is a major concern. The heightened safety measures, extensive testing and reporting, labeling, and supply chain liabilities contribute to the operational challenges, keeping costs under control while keeping quality high. Finding and retaining good talent in this industry are also concerns. As an industry where wages have historically been lower and work conditions more difficult, it is even more important to adopt new workforce tools to attract a new generation of workers and make their jobs easier and more effective. More and more companies are moving towards digital solutions to ease these burdens. How the data is collected, analyzed, and reported means the difference between success and failure. Unlike other industries, food and beverage companies have many different agencies to answer to. All of them have their own regulations and standards and require data to be reported in different ways and at different frequencies. The data that these organizations require is very comprehensive. You are responsible for testing and reporting on every aspect of every product and how it's made. Datamite recognizes that flexible solutions to stay on top of and adapt to regulation changes are a must. We have designed our solutions with this in mind so that you can utilize your data in real time to make real adjustments on the fly as needed. When we talk about supply chain in the food and beverage industry, there's a very precise standard that needs to be followed. Product genealogy is an important aspect of tracking your process. Your raw goods arrived with data attached that you must aggregate into your data while you create your finished product. SKUs and order complexities further exacerbate the problem and make it harder to ensure a superior consumer experience. Volatility in the supply chain and the challenges we mentioned already, along with regulatory compliance, greatly impacts the cost of your goods, making it extremely hard to stay competitive. Consumers want to know where their food is coming from and what's going into it, and traceability makes data collection and accuracy imperative. Next, let's examine challenges around cost containment and productivity. Margins are getting tighter and tighter in an industry where regulations are doing the same, making efficiency in both your labor force and your operations paramount. Companies worry about their carbon footprint, water usage, and environmental impact, meaning that the cheapest way isn't always an available option. Collecting data on every operation and analyzing it to find room for improvement is a company's most promising means of cost reduction. While labor costs continue to rise, companies can look to technology solutions that will help workers get the job done more efficiently and reduce human error. Solutions that allow you to catch production errors in real time and identify the root cause so that corrective actions can be taken immediately are the only way to stay competitive. This is where Datamite stands out, and we'll get in that a little bit more later in the presentation. Per a Deloitte study, almost half of food companies surveyed said that retaining talent was their top overall workplace challenge. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were more than 360,000 unfilled jobs in non-durable goods, including food, as of last July. Food plants have always had to deal with huge disadvantages due to the arduous nature of the work involved, oftentimes in cold and wet conditions and offering lower wages. The food and bev industry has traditionally lagged behind other forms of manufacturing, in part due mainly to the industry's low margins because of its highly regulatory nature. For all of these reasons, turnover has historically been higher in this industry than others, leading to extra costs for attracting and retaining talent. According to a Deloitte study, 9 in 10 companies are investing in the future of work-related initiatives, such as retraining employees to use technologies to combat this issue. Companies with low margin products produced across multiple sites traditionally are frustrated by seeing low ROI tied to their digital transformation initiatives. This is due to the fact that they are slow to implement, don't identify errors immediately, and cost thousands of dollars to good to be manufactured after a problem occurs, only to be disposed of later. Believe it or not, in most manufacturing facilities today, it is common to see key quality assurance and compliance processes being tracked manually, which is inefficient and challenging to say the least. Many food and beverage companies lack the visibility and the analytics capability to trace ingredients at the batch level through the supply chain, impeding incident response and recall management. Adding to these challenges, many manufacturing facilities have no centralized or integrated record management systems, making it difficult to initiate corrective actions, track compliance to any updated procedures, and respond to audits. As with any industry, trends are always emerging. McKinsey and Company, together with the World Economic Forum, identified four key shifts in the industry. The first is agility and customer centricity. To meet the demand volatility in a cost-efficient way, companies are boosting network agility through stronger connectivity and supply chain digitization. The second area is speed and productivity. Customers are focused more on value than ever. Delivering this value requires next-generation network productivity, which relies on shifting to digital production systems. The third area is eco-efficiency. With consumers increasingly favoring companies that commit to environmental responsibility, we see sustainability now a competitive advantage. And fourth is supply chain resilience, which indicates a need for companies to rely on differentiated omni-channel solutions, which depend on customer connectivity through digitalization and automation. Digital transformation is no longer optional. It is vital to a company that wants to be competitive. It can no longer be said that data collection and analysis is a luxury or a trend. It is absolutely necessary. And now, I would like to introduce Jeff Morris, our National Account Manager, who will touch on the requirements needed for success in food and beverage, as well as how Datamite is addressing them.
Thank you for the great overview of the challenges and opportunity for the food and beverage producers, Jason. Thank you again to all you attendees who took the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. In my experience with the food and beverage industry, I know that there are many requirements that probably keep you awake at night. No one wants to be the headline story in the news about product safety issue or recall. There's just too much at stake and so many areas to control. With more stringent regulatory compliance and intense media attention, more and more we see an emphasis on quality, safety, and compliance. Yet it's very common that key processes are impeded by manual, inefficient paper processes, unable to keep pace with today's expectations. As we discussed earlier, digital transformation is vital to this industry. Companies need to have visibility and analytics to trace ingredients at the batch level throughout the supply chain and increase response time to issues and prevent a potential recall. Today's manufacturers require flexible, multifaceted solutions from compliance-driven records management, providing full process traceability, to traditional yet robust SPC tools and analytics. Additionally, a shared reporting structure to integrate records management is important to track compliance and take corrective action. Here at Datamite, we have an innovative workflow management solution called Digital Clipboard, which my colleague John Ryan will introduce shortly. It simplifies workflow management, allows for easy regulation updating and audit responses, and incorporates built-in escalations process to enhance communication and collaboration. Datamite's strength is its reporting capabilities around data collected from multiple sources in your process. From full charting and reporting capabilities around statistical process control to online accessible reports and integration with Power BI, we can help develop dashboards to analyze data and take timely decisions to drive productivity, compliance, and improve quality at each step of your process. As experts in the Connected Factory, we leverage our Datametrics SPC solution for its complete reporting and data collection and its OPC-UA capabilities for scalable data connectivity. It offers robust SPC charting and graphing, as well as a myriad of customized reporting options. By collecting and harmonizing data from all areas, Datametrics eliminates data silos, connects your processes, and ensures full traceability in your operation, all with full security and an on-premise implementation that you get to control. The amount of data collected in one plant can be daunting. The job of Datametrics is to simplify data overload and help you zero in on critical controls and specs through reports, alerts, and notifications. This ultimately can help minimize issues and potential recalls. Datametrics is a powerful solution that few of our global food and beverage clients have leveraged for over 2 decades. Let's take a closer look at how Datametrics can help with specific food and beverage processes. If you automate the data collection from sources that need to be monitored, this includes scales, check weighers, inline or process sensors or thermocouples, OPC servers for PLCs, SCADA systems, and lab test equipment. Datamite can also integrate critical data and processes with your ERP systems for positive lot release and also creating C of A's. You can also compile and correlate using barcodes, temperature readings, and packaging processes, and feed this into your process control, sensory analysis, and net content monitoring. In food and beverage, it is mandatory operating requirement for customers to get what they pay for, and there are laws for such as the Food and Drug Cosmetic Act and the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act to ensure that this happens. Ensuring MAV, maximum allowable variance, is a necessity and for many companies can be very resource intensive and inefficient process. Datametrics facilitates MAV compliance by guiding timely and accurate data collection, customizable release criteria including T1 and T2, net weight alarms and minimum samples, automated data collection from scales and checkwares, as well as reporting that allows for timely monitoring of the overall performance of packaging process. Lot analysis to support efficient lot release is another very critical process, but a core focus in data metrics. We can interface with ERP systems with automated scheduled data releases. Other capabilities include customizable and color-coded summaries for non-compliance and release authorization. Reporting to show cumulative lot average and percent above label. Alarms for lot average failures can also be set up to alert operators in time to correct a problem or assign proper cause and corrective actions. These capabilities help to ensure traceability in the processes and record management in the event of an FDA audit or a recall. Data metrics in your process can help control costs and drive productivity, as well as turn opportunities such as overfill corrections into untapped profits. In addition to a full line of SBC reporting and customizable automated reports, Datamite can also tie into your advanced reporting solutions such as Power BI to provide visibility across your operations and your plants. The possibilities with your data are truly endless. Here at Datamite, we have found that escalations management has become an increasingly powerful tool for our food and beverage clients. Our Escalate solution leverages a customizable escalation process to improve collaboration and provide clear visibility and accountability for addressing root cause. You choose the team members to be notified at defined time intervals if no action is taken in the time allotted. A rich lineup of triggered alarms and email or text notifications is utilized to communicate to the team and drive swift corrective action before product is released. On the lower right part of the screen, you can see our daily audit report. You can quickly see at a glance which processes have errors, those in red, which ones are in conformance, those in dark green, and the light green shows previously red areas that have been corrected. You can imagine how effective this report is when looked at and used as a performance tool on a daily basis. Dashboard style reporting can also be developed to provide insights into your escalations by type, by line, by shift, etc. The combination of data metrics, Escalate, and our highly accurate data collection tools delivers impressive results. After 12 months, one of our global clients experienced an 88% reduction in production issues and a 57% of those reductions occurring in the first 3 months. Quite an impressive use case, and we would love to see your company experience similar results. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to John Ryan to introduce Digital Clipboard and its many workflow management benefits for food and beverage.
All right, well, thanks, Jeff. I'm excited to share more about Digital Clipboard with everyone today. In my discussions with food and beverage companies, I find there's a very high level of interest in finding solutions to help move from inefficient and resource-intensive paper processes to where they can gain a real-time insight into their production and inspection processes. There's also a strong desire to start finding issues in the moments they occur, not at the end of the shift or at the end of the day. Digital Clipboard, in its simplest form, is an innovative work platform with a no-code, drag-and-drop form builder that can run on tablets, phones, PCs, and on our Revolution data collector. But Digital Clipboard can be a powerful part of your day-to-day operations, interfacing with your other data collection processes and operating systems, including tying in with data metrics as described earlier. The solution's reporting capabilities improve process visibility and communicate accurate data from which analysis can be performed through dashboards to compare daily, monthly, or annual trends. The solution alleviates many of the food and beverage industry challenges we've discussed earlier. These benefits include enabling a more agile process for managing the ever-changing regulations for compliance. There's also flexibility to edit workflows on the fly versus going through IT or a third party to make updates. Building traceability into work processes and inspections, empowering your team with digital technology and on-the-spot decision-making capability. and supporting your company with its digital transformation initiatives to increase efficiencies. Where can Digital Clipboard help? Problem visibility, immediate escalations, real-time dashboards, corrective actions, reduction of defects. The lot release process and quarantining suspect lots, compliance and managing regulatory forms, making employees accountable for their work, rapid on-the-plant floor implementation. This unique solution promises rapid results all around. And you can go live in a few days, not months. Moving on, this slide shows a sampling of some of the workflows that Digital Clipboard can handle in the areas of production and operations, quality audits and inspections, supply chain and logistics, and safety. We currently have over 1,000 workflows ready to be picked up and put to use. Let us know what type of processes you have, and we can get started very, very quickly, either by simply digitizing your checklists or picking up and editing a workflow from our library. We have a global client that started with 20 workflows and very quickly expanded the workflows to over 400 to cover many processes and products. Digital Clipboard identifies and tracks issues. On the sample handling workflows shown on the screen, you will see that photos can be uploaded and annotated for validation or to document any issues. Signature sign-offs can also improve compliance with regulations such as 21 CFR, Part 11, or simply as part of your internal validation process. The feedback received from the workflow guide the operator to make on-the-spot decisions when issues arise or a process is out of compliance. Let's take a quick look at escalations management. Digital Clipboard uses our Escalate capability to assign work to team members when certain conditions arise. For example, in this graphic, you can see that the operator collects data, and if no defect is detected, his work is complete. If an issue is detected, a task is assigned to a team member to fix it. Once completed, Digital Clipboard forwards this data to a supervisor who validates the task was completed, and the supervisor approves the work. If not approved, a task can be created to reassign the work again. This process can greatly improve communications across the team, enforce accountability, and validate that the work has been completed. At this time, I'd like to invite my colleague, Gina Fritz, to show us how easy it is to build a workflow in Digital Clipboard.
Thanks, John. There are two ways to create a workflow. First, you can browse the workflow library. This library contains over 1,000 pre-made workflows. You can simply select a workflow and use it as a starting point to customize for your organization's needs. The second is to start from scratch. Today, we'll use our example from Cookie House Company. And on the screen, you see their paper form. And there's a lot of data issues with this submission. You can see that some of the responses are hard to read. Some of the steps are omitted. Operators can easily fudge the numbers, and there's a lack of traceability. So today we'll show you how to build this workflow inside of Digital Clipboard, and also how you can prevent some of the data issues that can occur. You can go into the Digital Clipboard Workflow Builder and hit the Create Workflow button. Simply give it a name, Product Analysis Audit. And you're ready to begin. The Workflow Builder will bring up the design pad where you can simply drag and drop widgets to create the elements that are on your paper form. As you can see, the very first item is the location. In the center panel, we have all the widgets that are available for you to design your digital workflow. Some popular choices are text box, numeric, choice list. There's a photo widget. Also, you can record the date and time of various actions, timestamps, and you can even record video and add static media. There are a variety of other options as well, including the barcode scanner, which is also popular, that you can use to customize your digital workflow. So let's begin. So let's start with location. For location, I want the answers to be standardized, right? There's only so many locations, so I'm going to use a choice list. Because using a choice list, it gives me the option to limit the answers provided by the auditor. So our cookie house only has 3 different locations. We have Cedar Rapids, we have St. Paul, and we have Dallas. It is very simple to add choices to these lists. It's just keep typing and adding a return character at the end of each one. Now, when this is selected, the next step is to name the widget. So we're going to name this widget and call it location. The next step is audit date and auditor. Both these are automatically collected every time a workflow is submitted inside a digital clipboard. So you really don't need to include them on your design pad. The next option is a product name. There's several options for product name as well. You could use another choice list. You could use a text box, but that leads people to spell things incorrectly. Or you could use a barcode scanner. So for this option, let's go ahead and put a barcode scanner in there. And we'll call this product. Lot number, batch number, item number. These are all very similar. We have different widgets that will limit the input to be a numeric value only. So if your lot numbers are only numeric, you could include that as a numeric widget. And we also have text box that you could have alphanumeric characters as well. So if your batch numbers contain some alphanumeric characters, it would be the better choice. And item number, we're going to say is numeric as well. And as you can see in this section where they're collecting data about the actual audit, you can see there's a lot of variety in the answers. The intention of this paper form was for the auditors to simply select whether it was a pass, fail, or NA. There was no intention to have numbers or text or anything like that. So for this, we're going to use the choice list grid. We're going to use a choice list. And we're going to limit the answers that the auditor can enter. Similar to what we did with the locations. And we do this several times because they're all very similar. And it's really easy to move items around. You simply drag and drop if things end up in the wrong spot as you're moving things around. And here we'll put in the quantity. Update our choices. And something you'll notice as you go through each of these widgets will have its own set of properties. These properties can make it so the user has to fill it in. So this required property will make it so that the user cannot submit data without that being there. And as you go through the different types, you'll see that there's different options. For the text box, you can have a max or a min length. Or for the numeric text box, you can make sure that it's a number that falls within a certain range. So this allows you to customize the workflow to collect data and to validate it as much as you would like. Back to this, we have color. We still have the same choices. And we have a couple more boxes. For the appearance, we're going to add an additional nice widget. We're going to put a photo widget that is also related to the appearance. So if there is an issue with the appearance, you may want to have a picture collected. So we can add a photo. You can leave it as the name photo, or you can change it to appearance photo. But when you go into the properties of the photo, you will see that there's visibility conditions. So you can make this photo widget only show up if the appearance contains a fixed value of, gotta go back and add their choices. Contains a choice of fail. Now, when the auditor has a failed appearance, this photo will be required. See the little star? This means that the widget is required, and they'll have to take a picture. And along with that picture, they can annotate and show exactly where the appearance is failing. The next thing we'll go on to is the compliance labeling. And next is packaging. And the final one is overriding. We'll just set our choices to be the same on all of them. And then there's just a few more, or a couple more fields that we need to add. So this audit has a spot where the auditor could just add overall comments. You could make this conditional as well, based on if you received any failures for any of the specifications. So we'll just call this comments. And then we have the auditor's signature. So that's a separate widget that we need to pull on as well. And then we want to move that down to the bottom. And there we go. So now the next step is to publish your app. So save the changes to your workflow. And now we publish the app. So when you publish, it makes it available for the devices to see and for you to also fill in the data via the web. And once the device is updated to download the current version of that app, you will be able to see your digital workflow and use it immediately. And now I'll return the presentation back to John. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gina. It is really simple to build and edit a workflow, and it's amazing to hear about the transformation that can take place when the team is using Digital Clipboard. To summarize, Digital Clipboard is proven to be a very innovative and quick to implement solution. It can help connect processes and work areas to improve communication and increase visibility to drive tremendous productivity gains, such as the example of our global client that reduced production issues by 88% over 12 months. As we learned, Digital Clipboard can immediately identify, track, and escalate issues in the moments they occur. Real-time data that can drive real results. This allows quick action to address issues fast in the moments they occur. We've identified areas where Datamite solutions can help with compliance, whether net weight, MAV, lot release, safety, or various regulations, and how our record management provides great traceability. We also explored how tools like Digital Clipboard are serving an important role in companies' digital transformation journeys and empowering workers with technology to enable them to make decisions on the production floor and play a vital role in their company's process improvement. And all of this adds up to increased productivity, growth, and profits. We've talked a lot about rapid implementation, rapid results, and we're serious about this promise. We have a specialized team ready and waiting to support your changeover from paper forms and checklists to digital. Just give it a try and we will demo your own workflow to your team. Additionally, just for being a valued guest on our webinar today, we have a special offer. In addition to free installation and getting you up and running within 2 weeks, if you buy 5 licenses at $6,000, you'll receive 8 free hours of workflow consulting and training. We are so confident that your team will see rapid results from Digital Clipboard that if you do not see appreciable results within 6 months, we'll give you your money back. Call our hotline for more information or reach out for a free demo on our website. Now is the time to send in your questions to our expert panel. I will turn the stage over to Fernando Graf and Jeff Morris for our Q&A session.